Before she ever says a word about her past, her body, her rhythm, and the way she moves through a room will already have told you the story. If you learn to read those small things, you'll stop calling heartbreak bad luck and start calling it what it is, a pattern you missed. One, comfort with physical closeness that feels rehearsed. There's something off about a woman who moves through intimacy like she's clocking in for a familiar job. You can feel it, that strange mix of ease and emptiness. She doesn't hesitate. There's no nervous smile, no little spark of uncertainty that usually comes with something new. Instead, she acts like she's been here 100 times before. The way she leans closer, touches your arm, lets her laughter roll too easily. It's all smooth. Almost too smooth. Most men see that and think, wow, she's confident. But confidence and familiarity are two different stories. One is built on comfort, the other on repetition. When a woman truly likes you, there's a pause before she touches you. Not because she's shy, but because she's present. She's thinking about the moment, about what it means. That hesitation, that quiet tension is what makes attraction beautiful. But if that pause is gone, if every move feels rehearsed, then she's not giving you something special. She's replaying a script she's memorized through experience. And the more times she's played that scene, the less it means to her. You'll notice it in the little things, how fast she becomes physically comfortable, how casually she talks about things that are supposed to be private, how her touch feels more like routine than curiosity. To an untrained man, this seems exciting, easy, instant. No resistance. But the truth is, there's no depth in it. When someone's been intimate too many times without emotional connection, they lose that natural sense of awe. Intimacy stops being sacred. It becomes mechanical. And here's where most men make their mistake. They confuse access with connection. Just because she lets you in doesn't mean she's letting you close. Quick comfort doesn't mean she feels safe. It means she's done this before. The woman who moves too fast isn't always confident. Sometimes she's just numb. So pay attention to the energy. Does she look at you like she's discovering something or like she's checking something off a list? Does she touch you with curiosity or convenience? The difference is small, but it changes everything. Real intimacy grows slowly. It has pauses, laughter, small moments of uncertainty that make it real. But when she treats closeness like a familiar road, it's not connection. It's history repeating itself. And if you ignore that, you'll think you found passion when all you found is a pattern. 2. Emotional walls always up. You can touch her hand, kiss her lips, and still feel like she's miles away. There's a wall around her, invisible but strong. You sense it in quiet moments, when you try to open up and she changes the subject. When you share something deep and she smiles, nods, but gives nothing back. It's not that she doesn't understand, it's that she's learned not to go there. Too many short connections have taught her that feelings don't last, so she protects herself by staying just out of reach. She might seem warm, even affectionate, but that warmth never deepens. It stays on the surface like sunlight on glass. You can see it, but you can't feel it. And the more you try to break through, the more she pulls back. It's not you. It's not something you did wrong. It's what repetition has done to her. Every failed bond carved another layer of protection until emotion became something she performs, not something she lives. At first it feels mysterious. You think she's guarded, maybe shy. You tell yourself she just needs time. But time doesn't fix patterns, awareness does. And when you're with a woman who has turned emotional distance into habit, you'll find yourself pouring out your soul just to get a drop of truth from her. It's draining. It makes you question your worth. You start to feel like love is something you have to earn, like closeness is a prize instead of a connection. In arguments, it becomes clear. She doesn't fight to resolve, she fights to escape. She jokes, deflects, leaves the room, or simply shuts down. You can't build trust like that. Relationships grow when both people take off the mask, when both risk being seen. But if she's built her whole identity around staying safe, she'll never let you see her truth, and you'll end up feeling lonely beside someone who's right next to you. Here's the thing, Her walls aren't about you, they're about survival. When a woman has been through too many short stories, she stops believing in long ones. Vulnerability becomes danger, so she keeps her heart locked, thinking it'll protect her. But in doing so, she kills the very thing she craves, connection. If you feel like you're trying to love someone who's always half present, listen to that feeling. Because the woman who never lets you in emotionally isn't saving herself from pain, she's just repeating it in a quieter way. 3. A disproportionate male social circle. When a woman's life is filled with men who call, text, and check in, it tells a story. Not always a loud one, but a real one. People don't keep circles that don't feed them something. And when she surrounds herself with mostly male friends, there's often a deeper reason. It's not always innocent, and it's not always malicious. Sometimes it's just habit. A habit of seeking validation through male attention because it's easier, it's consistent, and it feels good. Men, by nature, tend to flatter. They admire, they tease, they make her feel seen. Women, on the other hand, demand truth. Female friends mirror you back, your flaws, your mistakes, your real self. That's why some women drift toward men instead. It's softer, it's safer, it's attention without accountability. But here's the catch. Constant validation becomes a drug. The more she gets it, the more she needs it. You'll notice how her phone never really sleeps. Different names, same tone, light flirting disguised as friendship. She swears they're just buddies, but you feel it. The tension in those messages, the way she lights up when one of them texts. You might even try to rationalize it. You tell yourself she's just friendly, social, extroverted. But deep down, you know it's not balance. It's dependence. A woman who thrives on male attention never really gives all of herself to one man. Her energy is scattered, divided among admirers who keep her ego full. When one leaves, another steps in. She never has to face silence, never has to feel alone. It's not security, it's escape. And when you step into that world thinking you'll be the one to change her, you set yourself up for heartbreak. Because her worth doesn't come from who she is, it comes from who notices her. That kind of woman can't fully commit because her validation source isn't internal, it's external. It's in the crowd. And the moment your attention becomes familiar, she'll need fresh energy to feel alive again. That's why her social circle matters. It's not about jealousy. It's about understanding what fuels her. If she constantly needs to be admired, she'll never rest in one man's love. Because love isn't about being seen by everyone. It's about being known by one. 4. Closeness as currency. You'll notice this one not in how she loves you, but in when she loves you. Her affection has timing, her sweetness arrives when she wants something, her warmth fades when she doesn't, and suddenly you realize affection isn't affection anymore, it's negotiation. A woman who's learned that intimacy equals influence will use it like currency, maybe not consciously at first, but eventually it becomes her rhythm. When she's pleased, she rewards. When she's upset, she withholds. You feel it like weather changes, warm one night, cold the next morning, and because you crave peace, you adjust. You start doing what she wants, just to bring the sunshine back. That's the trap. At first it feels romantic. She's emotional, she's passionate, she just feels deeply. But over time, you realize her love has rules you didn't agree to. Every kiss feels like a transaction, every touch like a test, and you can't rest in it because you're always wondering, is this real or is this leverage? That's how emotional control works, softly. She doesn't demand, she directs. She knows when to touch your arm, when to go quiet, when to cry just enough to reset your guilt. She's learned that a man's heart often folds under tenderness, and the more you fall, the more power she has. This kind of woman may not even see what she's doing. It's a survival tactic she picked up after years of short, shallow bonds. Relationships where affection was used to gain attention or resources, but whether she means it or not, it poisons trust, because love shouldn't be conditional. It shouldn't be earned every day like rent. And yet that's how it starts to feel, like you owe her peace to keep her happy. When intimacy becomes a weapon, the relationship is already wounded. The hardest part? You'll confuse her manipulation for connection because she gives just enough warmth to make you stay. But the truth is simple. Real love doesn't keep score. It doesn't reward obedience or punish disagreement. It builds slowly, safely, without hidden price tags. So when her affection feels scheduled, when she uses closeness to control mood, to buy silence, or to win arguments, Step back, because what she's trading isn't love. It's control disguised as comfort. 5. The surgical reading of the male mind. Some women carry a gift that feels almost magical. The way they look at you, it's like they already know what you're about to say. They read your silence, your sighs, your moods. You start to believe they understand you better than anyone ever has. But here's where most men fall. They confuse emotional intelligence with emotional strategy. There's a difference between someone who listens to connect and someone who listens to control. A woman who has been through too many relationships often learns to read men like an open book. Every insecurity, every hesitation, every weakness, she spots it fast and she files it away. You think she's intuitive, but what she's really doing is mapping you. She's learned what kind of compliment makes a man melt, when to cry to soften him, when to pull away to make him chase. It's not always malicious. Sometimes it's just learned behavior, something that comes from years of trial and error. But it's manipulation nonetheless. It keeps you chasing something that feels real but isn't. You'll notice the signs. Her timing is always perfect. She compliments you right when you're doubting yourself. She pulls back when you start getting comfortable, then returns when you start to lose interest. It feels like a dance, but it's one she's choreographed many times before. And you're just the latest partner. She knows how to push your buttons, not because she's psychic, but because she's practiced. Every past relationship was a rehearsal for the one she has with you. Every emotional reaction she saw in another man became data. And now she's fluent in how to make a man feel seen, wanted and needed just long enough to keep him hooked. But here's the dark truth. She doesn't do this because she's evil. She does it because it works. It gives her control in a space where she once felt powerless. Every heartbreak taught her a tactic. Every goodbye sharpened her tone. She doesn't trust love to stay, so she makes sure she's the one steering the wheel. The danger is you won't realize it's happening until you're already deep. You'll call it connection. You'll say she gets you. But when every emotional cue is perfectly timed, when she never truly reveals her own weakness, that's not love. That's performance. And performances always end. A woman who reads you too perfectly isn't bonding. She's studying. You're not sharing a story. You're playing a role she wrote long before you arrived. 6. No shame about the past. The way she talks about her past tells you everything. Some women speak of it softly, like it still matters. They pause, they choose words carefully because they know the past holds weight. But others, they talk about it like gossip. No hesitation, no emotion, no filter. Just story after story, almost proud of the chaos. At first, it sounds like honesty. She's open, she's transparent, she doesn't hide anything. But listen closer. There's a tone in her voice. Not regret, not reflection, just indifference. That's not maturity, that's desensitization. When a woman treats her romantic past like a list of funny stories, it's because those moments stopped meaning anything to her a long time ago. She may even laugh when she talks about it, shrug when she mentions intimacy, use words like just fun or we didn't label it. You'll tell yourself she's liberated, modern, unbothered. But the truth is, the more she's repeated the same patterns, the less she's capable of depth. What used to be sacred has turned into casual memory. And when you ask about it, when you gently question why every relationship seemed short, sudden, or meaningless, she might flip the script. Why do you care? You're insecure. That's in the past. That defensiveness isn't strength. It's avoidance. It's how she protects her image while ignoring the trail of emotional exhaustion behind her. You're not judging her by asking, you're assessing the foundation, because the woman who laughs at loyalty will never cry for love. She's trained herself not to. The psychology is simple. When someone repeats shallow intimacy over and over, their brain adjusts. The chemicals that make closeness feel special start to fade. What's left is familiarity, not feeling. So she learns to talk about it casually because it no longer stirs her. That numbness becomes her comfort zone. You'll feel it too. When she holds you, it's warm, but empty. When she talks about love, it sounds rehearsed. You'll sense that she's been here too many times, said the same words to too many faces. And if you ignore it, you'll end up being just another story she tells without flinching. A woman who doesn't treat her past with respect will never protect the bond you build. Because for her, connection isn't sacred anymore. It's just another scene in a movie she's already watched too many times. 7. A short repetitive relationship history. Look closely at her timeline. It's always the same story told in different ways. Strong start, quick fire, sudden fade. The pattern doesn't lie. When a woman's history is made up of short, intense relationships that end abruptly, it's not bad luck. It's behavior. It's repetition. At first it feels magical. She's all in. Constant texting, endless affection, deep talks at 2 a.m. She says things that make you believe she's different. She talks about the future like it's already written. You feel chosen. But that rush you're feeling, it's not connection. It's chemistry born out of novelty. She loves the high of beginnings. The problem is she doesn't know what to do once the high fades. When things settle, when the relationship needs effort and emotional maturity, she checks out. She needs the thrill again, the chase, the spark of someone new. So she leaves quickly, quietly, and tells herself it just wasn't meant to be. But it's not fate. It's habit. She doesn't process endings. She doesn't sit in silence or reflect. She just moves on. And that's why her relationships all look the same. Different faces, same endings. She never truly heals. She just resets. For you, it's confusing. You'll wonder what you did wrong. You'll replay conversations in your head, thinking maybe you missed something. But the truth is, you didn't. You were just another stop on her pattern of short stories. The reason this sign matters is because repetition kills growth. When a person never stops to reflect, they never evolve. They keep living in loops, dragging the same emotional habits from one person to another. And every new relationship is just a rerun with different actors. If you see that pattern, don't excuse it. Don't romanticize it. Don't tell yourself you'll be the one she finally stays for. Because the truth is, people don't change until they want to. And if she hasn't faced her pattern, you're not her partner. You're her next chapter. You deserve someone who's learned from her past, not someone still living in it. Someone who knows that love isn't built in a weekend. It's built in patience, in growth, in commitment. But a woman addicted to new beginnings will never stay long enough to see what love really becomes. So before you fall for the rush, study her rhythm, because if every story ends the same way, chances are yours will too. Now take a breath, because this isn't about judging her. It's about seeing clearly, about finally trusting what your gut already knows. Every man at some point meets a woman who feels like a storm. She moves fast, she feels familiar, she knows how to make you feel wanted in ways no one ever did before. And in that rush, you forget to ask the only question that matters. Why does this feel so familiar to her? The truth is, you can't always tell how many men have been in her bed, but you can always tell how many lessons she didn't learn from them, because patterns speak louder than stories. And when you see the same rhythm, the quick intimacy, the guarded emotions, the endless male attention, the recycled relationships, that's not coincidence. That's history repeating itself. You don't have to shame her for it. You just have to recognize it and protect yourself. Not every woman is ready for something real. Some are still caught in cycles they don't even understand. And if you walk in blind, thinking your love will fix what others broke, you'll end up carrying pain that was never yours to hold. Real connection isn't built on chemistry alone. It's built on growth, awareness, reflection, on the willingness to face the past and not repeat it. If she hasn't done that, no matter how beautiful, how charming, or how connected you feel, she will repeat what she knows. And what she knows is short-term, surface-level, temporary love. So don't let lust make you ignore what's obvious. Don't confuse her comfort with depth. Don't take her confidence as purity. Learn to see the difference between a woman who's healed and one who's hiding. A healed woman moves slow. She values touch because she knows what it costs. She doesn't collect attention. She chooses connection. She doesn't rush the story. She writes it with care. That's the kind of woman who deserves your time. And if these signs opened your eyes tonight, write in the comments, "I see the signs now." Because that one sentence isn't just a comment, it's a declaration. It means you're done playing blind. It means you've decided to stop chasing what's easy and start choosing what's right. Share this with a man who needs to hear it, someone who keeps confusing chaos for chemistry, because silence only keeps him vulnerable. And if you're ready to keep learning the truth about women, love, and psychology, subscribe, like this video, and turn on notifications. Because this channel isn't just about relationships, it's about awareness, the kind that saves your heart before it gets broken again. Remember, a high-value man doesn't beg for loyalty. He recognizes patterns, he listens to energy, and he walks away from what doesn't align. That's not arrogance, that's wisdom.